All right, so I've set up and trained my Zapier trigger. Now I want to compose an email and have Zapier send that out to the recipient. Let me show you how to do that. So there's a whole bunch of different apps we can choose. To keep it real simple, I'm just going to choose Email by Zapier today and show a basic email sending. So I'll choose the Send Outbound Email event. And now here's the form that I need to fill in to tell Zapier what that email is going to look like. Now, of course, every email is going to go potentially to a different person. So when I click on this field and I look at the Insert Data section here, this drop down shows me all the data that's been added to the Zap that I can use. So I'll start typing 2 and I'll find the 2 field. Now this field is populated by better sharing and gets passed through to Zapier. So the test data that I used to train Zapier had Dude Man as the recipient. But anytime somebody comes to your page and uses the better sharing form, whoever they address those emails to, for each of those people, the 2 field will be populated appropriately. So that one's squared away. Next thing to do is pick the subject. Well, there's actually 2 subjects that come through from the Better Sharing plugin. One is a personal subject that includes the first name of the recipient. I'm going to choose that because that's great. And now I get to compose the email. So what do I want it to say? Well, of course, each email is going to be slightly different, but I'm going to start out with a greeting. So let me search for a greeting. Look at this. Better Sharing's added a greeting for me, so I can put in a greeting, put a couple of spaces, or a couple of new lines, and now I can put some other information. What else do I want? Well, maybe a body. Now, right now, this body just has some default text, but on the Better Sharing plugin, I can configure this to be something that will get sent out to everybody who receives an email. So I'm going to add that in this case. What next? I might want to put a custom message. Here's the custom message that I let my advocates put into the form. We would separate the custom message from the body because there might be some information that we always want to show, and we don't want each advocate to be able to edit that in any way. But we do want them to have some kind of personal message in there, so we add the custom message and let them put that in. Another thing we might want to put in is a referral link. We definitely don't want, if you've got a referral program and maybe this link contains a code in it that identifies the advocate, you definitely don't want them to change that in any way. We want to make sure that our tracking is consistent when those emails get sent out and when these links get clicked. So we'll include that. And finally, maybe some kind of a sign-off. And useful information in the sign-off is, we call it the owner contact's name. You can put the first name, you can put thanks or regards or best or whatever you like. Now, that's it. We've composed an email that's based pretty much entirely on information that we got through the Better Sharing plugin. So that's pretty cool. We're almost done. We're going to skip over attachments and just look at these next 2 fields. The from name. So this is interesting. It's important to show up in the in the email inbox, right, of the recipient. They're going to see who this email was from. So rather than having it say example.com or some other company name, we can use the sender's name because we have that information, the advocate's name, and then put in via example.com so that they understand, oh, okay, this is Graham sending, my friend Graham sent me an email, and he sent it through the example.com website. So for the reply to email, we can use reply to email. There it is. So when the recipient replies to the email, if anybody does, they've got a question, it will go directly to the person who we sent it on behalf of. Let me just review them once for you because there's a lot going on here, but essentially we're just composing an email like you would in Gmail or Outlook.com. Who does it go to? What's the subject? And what's the body? Those are the three major pieces. And then in order to make sure that the sender's name and email shows up properly, we added the from name and reply to address based on the information we got through from Better Sharing. And now when we continue, we'll be given a chance to test that email. And so if you referred yourself in the training step, then the email is going to go to your email address and you can see what it looks like. So I'll do that. And then when I've had a chance to review that email and make sure I'm happy with it, I'm going to click Turn on Zap. And once this Zap has turned on successfully, everything is ready. And now my form will start sending emails when my customers visit it and submit it.